Now, the clip keeps resurfacing of you as a young boy asking your dad to compete in boxing. You finally got the words that he was proud of you. What do you feel towards that now? How special was that for you?
Next question.
You said you went through hell, and you said it again here. Can you tell us what you meant by that?
No,
in specific?
Again, I said I'm not here to talk about anything like that. We're not taking away from what Conor did tonight.
Did you feel like you were anywhere near 100% tonight?
You guys saw what I did in the first fight. You guys can come to your conclusions after watching what just happened.
And that was Chris Eubank Jr. as he responded in some strange ways to his latest defeat to Conor Benn. First is first. I do kind of understand the reaction of how he responded, for the first reporter. The first reporter asked him, well, hey, how do you feel when you wanted to box with your dad? He was like, okay, what does that have to do with this fight? You know what I mean? Because it was almost, to me, it came off like someone talking about something else as a misdirection, also as a, kind of the beginning and the end type of explanation or story that they wanted to ask him, or they wanted to go with him, meaning they figure his career is over. So he might have took offense to that, but it was irrelevant to what was going on at the time, right? So I do understand him saying like, look, next question. And the second question, or the second answer to the second question concerning his performance. I'm 50-50 on that. And I'm 50-50 on that mainly because it's like, well, what Chris was saying subliminally was, the subliminal message was, hey, obviously you seen the first fight. I fought nothing like the first fight, so something had to be wrong. But at the same token, I'm not going to say what that wrong thing is because I don't want to take credit away from Conor. That by itself, people, I can respect. Even though he kind of left it out there for people to, speculate. But nonetheless, he showed class. He showed respect to Conor Benn, which was surprising. And if it meant squashing the beef between the two for him to lose, I'm glad he lost. That's the only thing that you can grasp from the experience. Like, look, okay, I have to give Conor Benn props. The kid can fight. He's not what I thought he was. He did better this fight, but I didn't do better this fight. But I still give him credit because even at my state, I didn't think he was good enough to beat me. You see what I mean? So I do think, and I do respect what Chris said. I do feel he was a bit frustrated with the questions that was asked of him. Will people say that? I heard what Ben Shalom said, like, oh, well, he had to go through this, that, and the other, and he had to go through hell, and, but here's the thing. I'm glad that he did not bring that up. I am glad. You know what I mean? So that's a plus in Chris's book. Now, people that don't like Chris anyway, the pro-Ben fans, will say, oh, he was just trying to say that just to save face. But I do think that he also said, I want Conor to savor the moment. I want this to be a Conor moment, not a, hey, me, poor me moment. That's why he didn't really go into detail on what happened, which I can respect again. I do respect his approach and his choice, his decision to make what was going on with him very minute, by not bringing it up. Because it is about what Conor was able to do versus what he couldn't. You know what I mean? And it doesn't matter at the end of the day, people. Because if Chris Eubank Jr. if he starts himself to make weight, it's still all on him. And I think he knows that as a professional, as a grown-ass man, he knew, hey, I got the 60% of the 18 mil to show up to fight. Regardless of how I felt, regardless of what condition I was in, I did that. And he did that. You know what I'm saying? He did that. It was like, okay, it is what it is. I made the decision to get in the ring, and, you know, and I couldn't do what I did before. Simple. Because nonetheless, what does that mean? Conor Benn was the better man that night, regardless of what was going on, right? So there you go. You guys tell me what you think of Chris and his decision not to respond to certain reporters' questions. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.